Greetings everyone, it's I, Goulash, and today we're going to talk about cooking. And today we are going to work on preparing Goulash, one of the most scintillating culinary experiences the world has ever known. Alright, the first thing we're going to want to do is get together our main ingredients. So we got us some beef. Best thing to use is a beef roast, but I have used steak and I've used steak and other kinds of beef as well. But pot roast seems to be the best. And you want to get 2 sticks of celery, 2 bell peppers, red and orange is the ones I prefer, but green can be used too. But those are the ones I use. 1 onion, but I'm still gonna make myself dinner. This isn't gonna be ready until tomorrow. So, and these are small onions, so I'm gonna use 1 1/2, and the other half is gonna go for my steak sandwich. Then we have some scallions. This is about a little bit more than half of a pack from the scallions, or green onions. And then you have your carrots, and then you have your habanero. And then of course you're gonna need to get some beef bouillon. It's not a lot in here. I don't know if there's enough in here for my thing. I have some more over there if I need it though. You're going to need some red cayenne pepper, black pepper. You could get some garlic or alternatively use garlic powder. Italian dressing. And a couple of potatoes to give it some consistency there. I generally use russet potatoes, but these work good too. I'd stay away from the red potatoes though. Find some more of the small white ones. That should be enough. This is not an exact science, by the way. There's a lot of tasting that goes along with this. All right, so the next thing we do is we need to get, well, I'm gonna put these back over here. Get them out of my way. So the first thing we want to do is get these things ready to be cleaned. So cut off the top of the onion, bottom of the onion, and throw that away. And then we're also going to have to peel this a little bit. Peel off like 1 layer, 1 big layer. 1 actual layer of onion and not skin. That being skin, that being onion. Looks like I actually got 2 layers there. So 1 onion ready to be cleaned. And just peel that off. And that one's ready. Take the carrots, chop off the bottoms, and Same thing with the scallions. Same with the celery. With the habanero, cut off the top. And then just open it and rip out the guts. And also, make sure you've washed your hands beforehand. And since you're messing with this thing, I really advise you to wash your hands really good when you get done. Especially before you touch your face. Anywhere near your eye. And if you have contacts, make sure you wash your hands really good before you put your contacts in. All right, so for the bell pepper, just do like a small thing on the side. And then we can rip the top of this off. I threw a little bit too much away there, but take the guts out, and then that one's ready. Same with the red pepper. All right, well, and then the meat. And then take everything over to the sink, rinse it, and bring it back. So the meat's rinsed off. You also want to make sure that your cat stays out of the way. Keep him up on top of the refrigerator instead of in your work area. Yes. Yes. No. Yes. No. Also. No. Also. No. Yes. Very good. Right, Wario? All right, so bring your veggies over here and rinse them off too. Oops. Don't bring the water back over with you to your table. And you cut a little bit more as well. Don't use your knife, your butcher knife like this. It's not a potato peeler. And lastly, well, not lastly, potatoes, sorry about that. And lastly, the habanero. All right, now our work begins in earnest. And of course, we need a pot. Bigger the pot, the more ingredients you stick in. Give you an example. This is the size of the meat. That's the size of the pot. Now I'm going to cut this meat up though. just gonna throw it in there all at once. I'm gonna cut it into little chips, like so. There we go, onion. Use your onion. Boy, this knife doesn't seem to be sharp anymore. I'm gonna go sharpen my tools. Oh, there seems to be a lot of fat in this meat. It means more flavor for our goulash. Now this is just a big piece of fat. That one we're throwing away. I really don't like this knife. Well, that looks a little bit better. That's another piece of fat. All right. So we've got the beef in there. Now let's get the bouillon going. Like I said, there's not a lot in here. Whoops. Actually, that's about what I use. Like about a third of the cap of this thing. If I use cubes, I generally, by the time I'm done, wind up using 4. I start off with putting two cubes in, and then I add them as I cook. And that's probably about 2 right there. And then I'll add a little bit more to this concoction as we go. And it looks like, I don't think there's no, there's just a little trickle left in there. We'll just add that in there. I've got another thing in here somewhere. So we'll get some more out. All right, so next, let us put in the taters. So we just cube these and toss them in now. Now, if they're russet potatoes, I peel them. But these tiny bite-sized gold potatoes, no. We'll leave those on there. And then let us get an onion, slice it in half. We're gonna do it in a quarter, and then one more, and then in half again. And then we just take that and we drop it into our pot. We don't really have to separate them because it'll come apart in the cooking, but Habits die hard. Because when I roast my onions and in barbecue sauce, I cut them up the same way, and I do basically the same thing. You can also use white onion, but for the goulash, I like to use the red onion if at all possible. But sometimes they don't sell it, so if you have to substitute, get the white onions. I cut them the same way. Dun, 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 dun. I have not made this I don't think I've made this since I've been here in this house. So it's been over 1.5 years since I've made this. Mainly because my son is not, he doesn't eat it. He might have one bowl. He's not a big eater of soups. So, that's a lot. This is going to last me for like 5 days. If he doesn't eat any. And we get the celery, and we chop that up. I like to cut them up into about like that small. Probably come over here like this so you can see better. Actually, you know what? Maybe I should move the camera around. There we go. There we go. Drinking a liter of Coke while you do this, that's optional. And of course, when you drink a few of these every day, you got to make sure you do your kung fu, otherwise this really gets out of hand. I mean, literally, I think there might be enough calories in this to feed at least a normal child for I think this is equivalent to the normal daily calorie intake of like a 12-year-old child. I've been having 2 of those lately. There was a time when I worked at the Stardust where I think that's like, was that the biggest I ever got? I think so. I think I got up to 225 there. And no, it was not. But when I was at the Stardust, I worked out like a beast. I would at least minimum every single day, an hour, doing something very difficult or very intense workouts. But when I was working at the Stardust on the floor, I would drink one of those 65 or 64 ounce super big gulps. So not even that. This is like I think this is a 50 ounce. So bigger than this thing. I would get one of those of Coke on my way to work. And then at work, I would drink it at work, and then while I was at work, the cocktail waitresses, they'd fill it back up for me. So I'd have like 2 or 3 of those a day sometimes. All right, the carrots, same thing. I'm gonna take those tops off. No, I'm not a professional chef. That's why you don't see me go. We don't want to see one of my fingers fly off. Especially since I don't have medical insurance. doing carrots, it's good to, ah, dang it. I gotta wash my knife because the other one isn't sharp enough. All right, so with carrots, we want to put up a little fence. Guess we're gonna have to make it a little bit higher so that they don't go flying everywhere. You can make these whatever size you want. I make them tiny. Or I'm holding it up here so you can't see. I like to make them tiny, but if you want to make chunks like that, that's fine too. You're not going to get it exactly like I'm doing it because I don't have specific amounts of ingredients, but it's all a matter of your personal taste. You want to be tasting this as you're making it to make sure it's what you want. For me, I like spicy, and I like sweet, and that's what my goulash is. It's not quite like a Hungarian goulash. Actually, there's two more things you need to get. Or three more things, I forgot. Because I use canned food too, so I forgot to get the green beans. I don't like to use canned green beans, but I forgot to get them at the store. I don't think I saw them. I think that's why I forgot. All right, so now with the scallions, same thing, just cut them on up. This one doesn't look good. That way. And sprinkle that on in there. All right, so now let's get us our sweet pepper or bell pepper. Again, it doesn't matter how you build it. Sometimes I make these, I cut these bigger. Sprinkle that on in there. Ah! No, just kidding. Maybe I should do a video where I fake cut off a finger, huh? So I can practice doing special effects. Ow, see, that was almost not a fake cut off. I willed myself to do that. subconsciously. Did I chop up the habanero? Where's the habanero? I must have. Oh, crap. Where's the habanero? I don't remember cutting it up. So habanero should be cut really fine. You want to cut that in a big, I don't see it anywhere. I'm thinking I scooped it up when I picked up some of the orange bell pepper. Yep, there it is. You don't want to leave that big old piece in there and then bite into that. Should be another piece in there somewhere, but it's not as big as that piece. So it should be fine. Yeah, so let that be a lesson to you. Keep the habanero. Where'd it go? Yeah, that's pretty much all of it right there. Keep the habanero separate from the orange bell pepper so you don't get them mixed up, especially if you have color blindness issues like I do. So I cut the habanero really fine, like that. That on in. And half onion. This one will go over to the side for my steak sandwich later. I know I'm not going to use up the whole thing, but I will use up a quarter of it. I'll cut it up and cook it with the meat. And the other, I'll cut that in half. I'll use half of this. So half of that will be cooked with the meat, and then the other half will be cut or diced and added to the sandwich after it's cooked. And yes, steak sandwiches are always made with cheese. So there will be cheese. I went to the store today to get some of the ingredients for this, and I got me some cheese too. It's supposed to be a pound of smoked cheddar, which they had the last time. And then this time they didn't have it. But they had a cheese that was in the same kind of a package in the same spot. When I came back, my smoked cheddar wasn't there. So I wound up getting sharp cheddar instead. And I didn't look at the price. And when I went through the thing, it said $5 and I think 61 cents. I'm like, damn, I should have bought me like 3 pounds of this. But it was sliced real thick, so it seemed like it was there was more in there than there was. She only gave me a half a pound. As you can see, this pot is almost full, and we still have the peas. Oh no, I don't even have green beans, do I? Chili beans, pinto beans, black beans. Oh. Oh, this is not good. All right, well, normally we use green beans, but I don't have any, so as we always say in our videos, we are not pedantic here at Hang Long Wuja. We will just have to substitute something that's well, isn't the same color and isn't the same consistency. We're going to use some sweet corn. Sweet corn and peas. Now normally when I get these cans, I put water in the top of them, hold down on the lid, rinse them out first before I use them. The exception is beans, the pinto beans. I keep them in the stuff they're in. All right, so add some peas, and finally the corn. Since we are sans green beans, we rinse these off the same way. Rinse off our can opener. And we put that in there. All right, so now we are ready to move to the oven. Let me go put this stuff away. We don't need this anymore. Actually, I am going to need that for my steak. You can also get a plate out at the beginning so you can store your utensils. Clean this cutting board off real quick. Yes, I know there's a big orange stain on it. We're gonna get rid of that later. I still gotta use it, so. Let us move the camera now. All right, now, I also forgot to mention one of the main ingredients. I'm guessing I forgot to mention is paprika. Should be using paprika. Now, since you're using the red cayenne pepper and the habaneros in there, you don't necessarily have to go out and buy the spicy paprika, but I recommend it. It's much better than this stuff. So, and with this paprika, you want to use a lot. But as I said, it's all about constantly tasting. But you want to put this stuff on before you add the the secret ingredient. Say the garlic. Same thing with the garlic. You want to use a lot of that, but don't do too much. You can, as it's cooking, add more to make sure you haven't. You don't want to have too little garlic, but if there's too little garlic, it's still acceptable. But you don't want to have too much. That just spoils it. The Italian dressing. So we did that. Black pepper. Just put this stuff back up. Yeah. And I'll get it when I need it. I didn't use the cayenne. And then lots of cayenne. Cayenne pepper. One of the best spices ever. Show its face on this planet Earth. All right, so now we use the secret ingredients, without which Honglong goulash would not be Honglong goulash, and that is some apple juice. Preferably without sugar. And this is about a gallon. So instead of using water, we're going to use apple juice. And we are done. I have another gallon of apple juice, but at this point, once you start needing more liquid in there, you can start using water at this point. But I'm still going to use at least a quarter of the apple juice before I start using water, because I like it to have that sweet. I like it to have that sweet taste to it. I don't have any. Here we go. All right, then we stir it all up. And now at this point, we can turn the oven on. We're going to want it to get it to boil. And then once it boils, we're going to cover it. And we will just, we'll reduce the heat a little bit so it still stays hot. And we'll just keep coming in here and stirring it. And whenever the heat starts dying down, we'll turn it up a little bit. And then at nighttime, when we go to bed, we will turn the oven on low and we will put this into the oven. Because we have a house load of cats and we don't want to leave the oven burners going at nighttime, otherwise I might hear a shriek, the likes of which nobody would want to ever hear. So, you know, this might require a little bit more beef bouillon. Well, definitely going to require it. Alright, now it doesn't taste very spicy, but the habaneros haven't been cooked in there. It does taste a little salty, so I'm not gonna add any more bouillon to it. The main thing that's giving it the salty taste is the beef bouillon. Because the only other thing that's close to salt that I put in there is the garlic powder, and it's nothing like salt. So it tastes kind of salty, but it just hasn't been cooking yet. So we're gonna check it in about a half an hour. I'm gonna cover it. I'm gonna check it in about a half an hour, and then I'll probably add some more stuff to it. And then I will check it in another half an hour. And by that time it should be the boiling part should be well into full swing. And I should know exactly what else I need to add to it. But essentially that's it. Literally the only thing else that I'm going to do with this is I will add more spices, probably more cayenne pepper, more garlic, and more paprika. And possibly later some more beef bouillon. What is this? These are chicken. Actually, I have some cubes right here. So I probably should have used those instead of that thing. So, but I think I have another thing of powder down in my thing. So I'll use that instead since I've already been using it. All right, so that is it. We'll check back in about a half an hour and see how it's doing. So we want to bring our, remember I said keep a plate for your utensils. We're going to cover the pot and let it cook. And while that's cooking, I need to make me some food because as you can see it's 8:14 and I've been up since 8:30 and I have not had one bite to eat yet. But I have had 2 meals with this Coca-Cola I'm drinking. Alright, so I changed my mind. I did not make steak sandwiches. I'm going to make tacos. And I cut up another habanero. And I don't want to use all of it for my tacos. So half of it is going to go in here to the goulash. That the one that I used for here for the goulash was kind of small, so it should be okay. Let me see how runny that is. It's also really light. It should be a dark color. So we're gonna add some more paprika. And then I'm gonna taste it and see whether we need some more cayenne or some more beef bouillon. Now when this is done, it should be a dark brown or a dark red. I'm colorblind, so, but it's gonna be a really dark color. To me, this looks like it's a greenish yellow. But then I don't think the corn is gonna do anything to the color. Let's see how this tastes. Still pretty sweet. Not as salty as it was before. So I'm gonna add some more cayenne. It's not going to be done until the till the potatoes have been are essentially creamed and stewed into the stew, and the beef is basically all just completely fallen apart and integrated into the soup. There's not going to be any chunks like this left. Or I don't know if you can see that, so. You won't see any more chunks like that when it's done. Turn the heat down a little bit now. It's boiling, and then we'll see what it looks like again in about another half an hour. We may be able to turn it down a little bit more. All right, it's about time to check on the goulash. I changed them. I think I already mentioned that. I'm making tacos, not steak sandwiches, but I think I already mentioned that. Right in. Well, it's not boiling anymore, so we're not going to turn the heat down any, but it's still pretty hot, so we're just going to leave it at the same heat right now. On an electrical stove, I would normally just cook everything. I would cook the goulash at 350, and once it starts boiling, I would lower it down to about 300 and just let it stay at 300 until I get ready to go to bed, and then I would just leave the ends of the oven on at like 250. This oven, I'm going to leave at the lowest setting because this oven's, everything on this gas oven is really hot. And if this isn't boiling when I open it the next time, at around 9:30, I will turn the heat up. Spices are starting to come through. It's still going to need some more beef bouillon for sure. And probably some more, well, definitely some more cayenne pepper. Dang it. Ah! All right, it is 9 o'clock and it is about time for me to eat. I'm gonna have to turn that up a little bit though. All right, well, I am officially stuffed. It's boiling, so that means we can turn this heat down even a little bit more. Almost to low. Spicy and sweet. Oops, not that. There we go. mint. All right, now we'll put some more bouillon in there. That's about 3/4 of a cube. Well, it's already 9:30. It looks like I'm not going to stream Elite Dangerous tonight. I mean, Entropy TD. I'll probably stream Elite Dangerous if I can. Add a little bit more of the apple juice. And let her go. All right, this time we'll check back in about an hour or so and see how things are going. All right, well, it's not boiling, so we definitely need to turn it up a little bit. Color's looking better. Sometimes I'll also use like a red wine, but not like a whole bottle of red wine. just about 1/4 of a bottle instead of like using the second bottle of apple juice. Okay, so way it tastes now, I definitely don't want to use any more apple juice. I'm gonna want to put some more cayenne. Trying to get a piece of meat out here. I mean, the meat started to come apart, but still got a ways to go. That'll be hot enough. I won't have to turn it up anymore. We'll check it again. Actually, I'm going to check it again because I'm streaming right now, so I'm going to try and come and check it in another half an hour or so. But we'll see. All right, we are back to check. It's not boiling either, huh? You have to turn it up a little bit more. sure that gas is going. Just turned it up a little bit and it's already getting ready to start going. That'll be enough. I can hear it already getting started to go without the lid being on. Color's getting there. Consistency's still not there, but that won't really get there probably until tomorrow, until those potatoes all get mixed up in there. We still need a little bit more of this. Well, that should take me up to about 3. So we're gonna use a little bit more of this, I guarantee you, but not until later. Taste, it's not quite perfect yet, but it's getting there. It's the taste is sweet, and then the spiciness comes in like literally like 4 or 5 seconds after you've initially tasted it. Then your mouth starts to get hot, which is how it's supposed to be. But the taste is not quite where I like it to be yet. So I'll probably, I'm just not sure what I need to add yet, because it's spicy enough. It's just a little bit too sweet at the start. So maybe just a little bit more water in the bouillon, and we'll be good to go. But that won't come until later. So now it's 11:16, so I'll probably check in another hour or so, because it'll definitely be boiling the next time I check it. All right, we are here. It is almost midnight, so I think that's 4 hours after we started cooking. Is it 4 hours? No, I think maybe we started a little bit earlier than that, like 7:30. So it's hot enough. It's boiling, so we can turn it down just a tad. Not too shabby. Put a little bit more garlic in there. Said not too much. You never want to overdo the garlic. Although some people say you can't overdo the garlic. Kind of like I say you can't overdo the red cayenne pepper. Oh, I meant to do this though. Paprika. Looks like all the meat's for the, I mean, it's not completely broken up, but as you can see, there aren't any big chunks of, well, there's kind of a big chunk there still. We's getting there. We's getting there. That is just so good. All right, it's 1 o'clock. This might be the last time I check it tonight, or at least the last time I check it on the camera. Still boiling. Well, I'll check it one more time on the camera because I'm gonna stay up a little bit longer. I shouldn't. I'm already like a zombie. I feel like I could just collapse right now, but I've got some other stuff I still gotta get done before I go to bed. Besides this, I think we're gonna put the last of the bouillon in here. I don't know. I might not need any. I'm not gonna add any more. I'll add it tomorrow. We'll see how it tastes tomorrow. Because we're gonna still let it cook a little bit more. Boil until it's or some slight boil until for at least another hour. And then we're gonna put it into the oven at 200, so it's basically on low temperature. And then when we take it out tomorrow morning, or early afternoon, when I get to it, I gotta take care of my kitty cats too. Then we will put it in here and we will turn it up again. We'll get it boiling again, and then we'll give it another taste. Let's see, but like right now, I don't think it needs any more. I don't think it needs any more bouillon, but it does need some more liquid. Like I said, this will usually last me about 4 or 5 days. But after like the second day, it's not like my main meal. After the second day, I just I only have like a little bit as like a snack. But for the first 2 days, like tomorrow, this is going to be lunch and dinner. Doesn't see how the meat's doing here. I don't see any. That's like the biggest chunk right there, and that's pretty small. Now that I've diluted it a bit, that's good. At this point, I don't think I should do anything. We'll see how it tastes a little bit later. Right, the last check of the day. That is just so good. Alright, so now we're going to put the oven on very, very low and stick this inside for the night. And we will check it out in the morning. Good night. Alright. Well, I didn't, I got up about 4 hours ago, and so I've already checked on this once a couple hours ago. I added some water. I wasn't completely dressed, so I didn't turn the camera on. We are getting there. It's like a quarter, not even a quarter. Yeah, a little bit more. That's probably a quarter. So I'm not even up to, I'm probably up about like maybe 3 cubes now. A little bit more water. What's up, Stu? You got food, and it's not time. You still got over an hour before it's time for you to be fed. Yeah. Yeah, an hour. It is just about ready. So, I got up about 7:30. Woke up, and I could smell my goulash. It called to me. So I got up and I came in here and I pulled it out of the oven and I stirred it up a little bit, added 2 cups of water, and then I put it in. That's the only thing I've added or done, or it's the only thing I've added since I've started doing this that wasn't on camera. I did stir one other time, but I didn't add anything. It's just about ready. I could eat it now, but it still needs an hour or 2 to go to boil. It's so good. Alrighty then. I'm watching the Berlin and Hamburg game, the German Cup. Hamburg just scored, so I figured it's time to come and stir the pot. The meat hasn't all shredded yet. Shouldn't be too much longer though. Because I'm ready to eat. Is that a potato still that hasn't? It's still a potato that hasn't dissipated yet. Yum. It's not super spicy as it normally is. Well, you know what? One of the things I didn't add, and normally I also add like 2 serrano peppers to it too. I think maybe I should put a little bit more cayenne in there. I definitely need to take all this stuff off of the oven because oh, is this messed up now because it's been sitting on the oven all day? Yum, 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 yum. It's almost done. Maybe another hour. Alrighty then, I think we might be done because I'm ready to eat. All right, we are ready. So, you can eat it as is, or as I'm getting ready to do with a sandwich. You can also put it over rice is good, but my favorite is to put it over egg noodles, but I don't have any egg noodles now, so. I wanted to make sure that you see what it is supposed to look like, because I don't know whether you can see that very good from the thing. So, as you can see, oh, there we go. As you can see, that color is not green anymore. We've already had 2 bowls. It's not as spicy as normal. Oh, so that was the other thing I want to say. Besides putting 2 serrano peppers in there, I also usually cut up an Anaheim pepper too. So this was not as spicy as it normally is, but it's still, it was sweet to taste, and literally it takes like 5 or 6 seconds for the spice to kick in. And, but once it does, it's not like your mouth's on fire. It just gets nice and hot. But other than that, it came out pretty good. I mean, substituting the corn for the green beans and then we had we substituted the corn for the green beans, and we also missed down on 3 different peppers. But it still came out pretty good. Anyway, as always, if you guys liked the video, give us a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do so. And if you want to see anything else in future videos, let us know in the comments down below. Or you can send us, alternatively, you can send me an email at honglongwuja@gmail.com. Direct message me on Twitter at honglongwuja. Twitter/X, I should say. And you can follow me on Facebook at honglong. Until the next time, everybody, take care and keep practicing your culinary skills.